think that's the formal swing out over the edge. But the really great one apparently is farther to the right and up the hill a little bit more. Kind of analogous to Mitad del Mundo and the more authentic location of the equator to its right. At a juncture on the trail after leaving the bus, go to the right to the original Casa del Arbol, or go to the left, which is the one that's really supposed to be the original. Go this way first because fewer people are going this way. This is apparently the one swing. Here a view of mostly the floral greenhouses. For fun, I'll wander up these other trails. I think we've got quite a bit of time before the bus leaves at 4. Another view from the ridgeline looking the opposite way from Banos. And there are people that live within about, I think, a kilometer down the hill from here, at least by road. It's interesting to imagine how they carved out this trail. Maybe the rain has started as I climb up this narrow pathway. Keep climbing up this narrow pathway. What I'd like to do is get way out in the country somewhere where I don't think the world's dominated by people. Of course it is. But here's where the man comes to begin work on his cornfield. I wonder how much, if any, of this corn species, crop, or strain, whatever you want to call it, springs from the efforts of the Inca. The Incas, I learned in Peru, had in Peru, not far from Machu Picchu, within that area, a laboratory used for the purpose of developing strains acclimated to higher elevations. This is a fascinating, curious plant, or at least what looks like it's flower. Is it a flower, or is it a fruit of some sort? Looks like it's a flower. It's opening up. That one on the right. There a bud to the left, it looks like. Some cows up here grazing. Look at the grass, thick. How are you guys? How are you? I wanted to approach me, whether it was out of curiosity or whatever, I don't know. But the fence stopped him. I wasn't too worried. But I don't have a lot of room to scramble in here. Here, a cluster. If you want to call something within about a 10-foot radius a cluster, those pretty flowers. The remnant of flowers, aged. My favorite blossoms. I'll turn around since I don't think I'm going to encounter anything novel except that this area here has been carved out flat. Or what once upon a time purpose, I don't know. You can see the clouds have rolled in to obscure the valley, being lured on by the trail, but I think I may stop right about in here, since it looks like the trail gets seriously obstructed. Oh, I do enjoy being far from the maddening crowd. Hopefully this cloud will lift and blow through so we can see down below. More floral greenhouses, which this hillside that we've come up seems to be quite littered with. I see the luxuriant growth of grass up here. I can understand how in some of my videos you'll see plots of green land very high on the mountainside. It must be very fertile. You can see it's a sizable operation up here. You can imagine how many hillsides in Ecuador are just like this. Young folk have all swung out. Under those clouds may be the large volcano that's here. Don't know its name. This or these are the original swings. It's from here that you get that magnificent picture of the person swinging out and the volcano in the background spewing out smoke. Various, I forget what they call it. But anyway, it's challenging your balance. This gives you an idea of the steepness, but it really isn't a giant cliff. Although you'd have a tumble if you fell. Beautiful flower that I think we've seen before. I think we've seen this version also. Imagine if you lived in a house that was perched on that point with sufficiently trees removed to give you a fantastic view of the area around us. But it would be sporadic, so unlike living in the Tetons, where most of the time you have a great view of the Tetons, here most everything would be obscured a lot of the year. Another view of the Ruta de las Cascadas, apparently starting in upper left and working its way down here on the Rio Pastaza.
Cantando el océano, ¿qué va? Cerca, caminando, se va.